Hi everyone, it's Mark here from Begin2Code. We start our first video beginning to code. If you've clicked here wanting me to teach you how to code, you are going to have to struggle along with me because I'm learning how to code online with you. I've done countless YouTube videos on Python or C# or different things which tell me I can learn how to code in 5 minutes, or I can learn how to code over 10 different videos, and I kind of get it and I kind of fail, and so I need to do a bit more. So I'm going to film my struggles and you can struggle along with me, but hopefully we're going to get lots of developers following the channel as well, giving us tips, and then I can start to apply them and you can see how I get along. Don't know what languages I'm going to use, don't know really what projects I'm going to use except for the initial couple of videos to get going. So without further ado, let's begin to code. Now the first app I'm going to work on is a relatively simple app. I'm going to try and predict the lottery numbers for the UK. So it's a rollover, 5.1 million on Saturday. What we need to do is predict 6 random numbers between 1 and 59, I think it is. So 6 numbers, predictions, not too bad. Probably need some loop, some random number generator. I know little bits to know what I know. There is a caveat that we can't have duplicate numbers, so we need to put some checking in behind that. But without further ado, let's have a go. Okay guys, so what we're going to start with is Visual Studio 2019. So I just downloaded a clean version of Visual Studio 2019. I'm going to start a new project, and I'm going to start this project in C#. Don't know if C# today is the best thing to work on, but it's what I know. I've tried to learn quite a few things. I've probably got on best with C# in the past. So this is what we'll write on today. I can show you my level. I think we need a Windows form C#, this one. Windows form app. Next, and we'll call this lottery picker. And it says I've already got one. That's probably my test one, so we'll create an _1 and create a project. So I do have some notes in front of me, roughly what I need to do, and here we have our form, so we are ready to go. Don't really want to spend too much time on the look and feel of this. Really want to concentrate more on the codes, but we're going to need a label. I think we'll start with a label, and I don't know if you can see over my face, but the text here will just National Lottery Picker. So we know what this is, and we can just increase the font and make it a bit bigger, and we'll underline it. So there we go. We've got our title on. It still says Form 1 up in the title of the form. I think we can change that somewhere in the properties. If we click on the form, there's a name. Is that it? Change it to lottery. What did that do? It still says Form 1. There's the text. We'll change that to lottery as well. There you go. So it's 6 numbers. I'm going to display them in 6 labels. So 1, copy V, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think we can do something here with alignment right at the top. So we can, I don't know how to do that actually. Format, we can align them. We can align the tops. That's nice. Then we want horizontal spacing, make equal. Cool. So there we've got some labels which we'll again make a little bit bigger so we can see the numbers in them clearly, and we will just space them out a little bit more again. Select them again and format, horizontal settings, we'll just increase it. Maybe we'll increase it one more. There you go. So we've got our labels. Let's do, again, look, I don't know a lot, but I know that we should probably label these something a little bit better. So we'll call this label num1. So this is where I'm going to put the first ball. Then we'll go label num2. We'll copy and label num3. Label num4. Label num5. And label num6. So we've got 6 labels on there, which we're going to display the results in. We will add a button, which we're going to click to actually generate the numbers. So we will give it a text to say generate. I think that's good enough for this, and we'll make it 12 and bold, and we will also give that a clearer name, button generate. So there we have our form, 6 labels and a generate button. So if we right click here, we can view code, and that's going to go into the code behind the form, and we can actually start with a few things. So I know I need a few variables. I'm looking at my notes here. I've got create variables is the first thing on the list. So the variables I need are, I'm going to create a label, an array actually, and a label array is gonna, square brackets, called, let's call it lot labels equals new label, and there's 6 of them. Then I'm also going to create an integer, Boolean array for lot numbers equals new bool, and there's 59 of those. I think that's right, because these start at 0 and we can't have a 0 bool. Maybe it should be 60. What I need to be able to do is create I'll create a true false per ball, so we can check if it's been picked or not when we loop through them. So there are a couple of arrays to start with. Then on load form, how do I do the load form? Double click it? Yeah. Double click it and I'll get something when it loads the form. So what we'll do is we will put our labels into the label array when the application loads. So that is lot labels 0 is the first one, is going to equal, and then it was label number 1. Now, not labels 1, it's going to equal label number 2. This is actually one thing I've been stuck on in the past, and so developers watching it, maybe you can help me, because I wanted to be able to write a loop to go through these, but I can write the loop to generate the numbers for the array, but I've struggled to figure out how to put the correct label into the correct bucket, so I've had to always go manually like this. It doesn't seem like the most efficient thing to do, but there we've created our labels. When the form loads, are going to go into the array, which is nice. on button click, let's come to generate. That's gonna double clicking it, and it already creates the function. It is pretty cool. So in here we want a few things. Let's start with the random. So it's a random, we'll call it that, equals a new random. So that's the method, I think it is, to generate a random number. Then I'm just reading the notes, as you can probably tell, look, I don't know how to code, so I'm kind of trying to do it. I'm going to write my for loop. So it's for, we'll call it int bool equals 0. So that's the start, right? And then as long as bool is less than 6, maybe I should call it I actually, maybe that would be easier. Bool plus plus. Squigglies. Most people call this I, don't they? I think we'll do that. I think I prefer that. Int I. So I is per round of balls. So we start at 0, we come into the loop, and we're going to say int bool number, bit of camel case going on, int bool number equals random dot next rdn, random next between 1 and I think it's 60, because it doesn't pick the top value. So that's going to create a random number. Then, well, I've jumped ahead of myself, haven't I, actually, because then I want to see whether this is true or false. So on load, okay, what we're going to do is another method, function, sorry, private void refresh numbers. I don't need to pass anything into that, and so I can do that. And what refresh numbers is going to do is going to say, it's another for loop in here. I like for loops. I know how to, well, I'll say I know how to do them, but I think I know how to do it. I can call this int I as well, because it's not in the same function as the other one, equals 0. As long as I is less than, I think it needs to be less than 60, then I plus plus. I've got some weird spacing going on here when I get rid of. Like it to line up. Then let's put our brackets on the for loop. So when we loop through, what we want to pass in is our lot numbers bool. So lot numbers I equals true. That doesn't work. Why not? Lot numbers is a boolean. Discard the dash. Discard the dash. We've got a dash there, right? Lot numbers I equals true. As far as I know, that should be working. Probably typed something wrong. What have I typed wrong? I'll check it and come back to you. Right, well that was pretty easy. I just didn't need the extra equals. So lot numbers I equals true. So on refresh numbers, we're going to set all the booleans to true, and we're going to call refresh numbers in the load, refresh actually, do I want to call it there, or should I call it in generate? I'm going to call it in generate right at the start. So we're going to hit generate and we're going to run refresh numbers. Refresh numbers. So the first thing we're going to do is set all of our booleans to true. Then we're going to create a random number. We're going to generate a random number. Now we've generated it, now we want an if statement, right? That's what we want now. Now we've got our number, we need to say if lot numbers bool number, I think it is, and that's where we put the double equals true. So if that equals true, what do we want to do? We want to update the first label with I. So we can say lot labels I dot text equals bool number dot to string. So that will put the bool number into the first iteration of I. Then I think we do an update statement. So that's lot labels I dot update. And we will set the lot numbers for bool number will equal false. So when we load it, all the numbers are true. When we pick the first number, or any number, it says if that number in our array is true, then let's put it in a label and we'll set it to false. Therefore, this if statement should mean we can't pick our lottery number again. Now, if we hit this statement and it's already false, meaning we've already picked that number, we need an else clause to get out of it. So we'll say else, and then we can just say I minus minus, and it will go back and re-pick a number. Now I think that's probably it. Sure, I've done something wrong, but let's run this and have a look what happens, if anything happens. So we'll click generate. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 random numbers have popped up. 13, 15, 9, 50, 55 and 47. Well, they look pretty good. They sound like they could be winning numbers actually. We will, in the next video, compare these to the actual numbers that have come out and see if we've won 5.1 million. If we have, it's going to be a short video. So they're the numbers we've generated. We've managed to generate some numbers. Fantastic. Don't have them in order. I think that would be nice. I never figured out how to put an array in order. I might do a bit of a jump cut and see if I can get those in order. But that is basically the start of Begin2Code, as simple as that, because I'm not really much past this level, and you can see how many times I was referring to my notes pseudocode, or to be honest with you, the app that I've written before. So yeah, I need to refresh myself, and I need to learn from the YouTube community, and the YouTube community to learn with me how I can improve, or what more I can do, because I've never really got past if statements, which I love if statements in Excel, and for loops. I've never really got past this level. So we need to get past this level. This is the first program in C# that we've written, but I'm very aware that C# is maybe a bit dated. Maybe I should be looking at much newer technology. So if you're a developer out there who's going to recommend people what language to learn for their first app, then shoot me a line and or make a comment, like, comment and subscribe, but tell me, you know, which language I should be looking at in the future, and we'll start to make some programs or start to learn some code in that, and everyone can follow along with me and see how I'm doing. So there'll be a few more videos on this app, even though it's very small. I'm gonna maybe try and get this in order and tag that onto the end of this video, but I'm gonna go away and have a review of what I've done today. I mean, I've already can think of something I know I haven't done. I haven't commented anything in the code, which is pretty bad form. I know I need to do that. But what other things could I be doing better? Haven't organized it particularly well. Haven't thought about the structure of the code at all and things like that. So I'm going to go away, probably make a follow-up video. Also, we'll compare this to the lottery and see if we've won. And then look at the comments and see if we can learn from that. Then we're going to go on to a new app, something different. Probably a little bit more complicated than this, but not incredibly, because I don't know how to do it. But then it's all about taking comments from the community out there. So what should I be doing better? How should I be doing it? That's what I want you guys to tell me. Or if you're also beginning to code, what are you struggling with? Or do you have a project that you're trying to do? You can send it to me. Maybe I can have a bash at it over the channel and see how I can get along with it. That might be incredibly interesting as well. So let's go. I don't know how the journey's going to go, but welcome to Begin to Code with Mark. Like, comment and subscribe, please. Let's try and build up the following and see how the channel gets on. Thanks, everyone.